Right then, so I've given you a controversial topic this week, hopefully to get involved with in your discussions. Welcome to From the Feet Up, and this week we're going to talk about my view, which is that there's no such thing as a healer. I don't actually believe that we heal people any more than we can smile or breathe for them. It's something that we're not capable of doing. I think that before we have that discussion though, we need to work out how it has implications for four different groups of people involved with what we do. First one, obviously the most important one, is the therapist. Now the therapist, for me, has huge expectations put on them in order to do their line of work, whether it's massage, whether it's reflexology, whether it's homeopathy or any of the other energy medicines. And so they go into their profession believing that they have a job to do and that they have results to get, an outcome to have. And when that doesn't happen, they get really upset by that, they get disillusioned with it, and possibly they feel as though they're doing the wrong thing. So they'll go off and learn another technique and see if that helps, and then find that that only helps in certain cases but not in others. And so as a result of that, they can end up being totally upset with themselves and removed from the healing process, thinking that they've done something wrong. So they leave the profession, and I know personally in all the years I've been working now, there are many therapists that have given up because they feel as though they've not done a good enough job. And I think that's a real shame. So we need to have a look at the healing process from their point of view. Second one obviously is the other half of that relationship, which is the patient. And the patient really comes in with massive expectations on what to expect when it comes to having a treatment or to having some kind of help. Some patients will put themselves in your hands and say, right, heal me, deal with this. I'm not going to deal with it, I want you to deal with it for me because I'm paying you money in order for you to do that. So that again puts all that pressure or that expectation back onto the therapist, and that in itself is wrong as well, because when the patient doesn't get better, they immediately blame the therapy or the treatment, and they don't look at on themselves. They don't look at themselves and see that actually it's the work that they need to do on them that is crucial to their successful healing. And then the third group obviously has to be the general public. Those people that haven't tried therapies, those people who are interested but need convincing on it, they see the whole idea of healing in a certain way as well, where there's some kind of magic associated with it. And sure, when someone's healing process comes to a successful conclusion, there is that magic about it. Someone feels better with themselves and all the symptoms they might have moved on. But there's a deeper issue there, and I want to talk about that in a moment. And finally, the fourth group I would say are the skeptics. And these are the ones who say, what a load of rubbish. This is absolute rubbish that anybody could be involved in healing somebody. It's all mumbo jumbo, it's all sort of smoke and mirrors and all this kind of thing. And we don't, as a profession, actually do anything to help ourselves with some of the charlatans and some of the quacks that are out there that come out with these really outlandish ways of healing people. I know that in my work that I do and in all the teaching that I do through my Effective Reflexology series, I never ever talk about healing people. And we certainly can't cure people, that's not allowed, because there is actually a law against that in this country, in the UK, to claim cure. You cannot do that. So I think it's along those lines really that we need to focus our attention. I'm about solutions. I want solutions to things. It's very well highlighting all the problems, all the inherent problems, but I want to bring about solutions to this. And so really it's about looking about what happens in the healing process. What is it in the healing process that occurs that brings about that successful conclusion for our patients? And we are facilitators. We facilitate the healing process, and we allow maybe an environment, a safe environment for that to happen. but it's about a change in consciousness. The patient in front of you has to change the way they view themselves and their illness in order to move on from it. Now, you can't do that for them other than give them clues about how they should approach it for themselves. They're the ones that have to make those changes. And so it's really important that we recognise that they're not the passengers, but the drivers in this process. They move it forward at their own pace, in their own way. And we shouldn't get upset and disillusioned and bothered if it doesn't go according to our timetable. We should really be more excited by the fact that it's moving forward. I no more take the successes for when people get things moving and things go well for them than I do take the blame, if you want to call it that, which it certainly isn't, for when things don't go according to plan. So I think we have to see it in perspective here. Yes, we are involved in the process of healing, and we take their money in order to facilitate that healing, but at the end of the day they drive the pace with which that happens, and I think that's a really important for us to end on. Really, energy medicine is an amazing, it's an awesome experience to go through, but what we need to keep at the centre of our minds is that the patient is always the focus. The patient is always right at the centre. They drive the process, and they're the ones that will determine whether they get better or not. It's not us. So get your comments in, please. No such thing as a healer, that's what I'm saying. And like it, share it, subscribe to it, all the kind of things I've been asking you about before, and I look forward to hearing your comments soon. Thank you.